Under the uniform pallor of a Concord morning, Detective Lyle Rigby disembarked from the train, a solitary figure against the backdrop of forgotten industrial grandeur. The city loomed, its facades of brick and iron worn weary by time, concealing labyrinthine secrets beneath their surfaces. Rigby inhaled the damp, earthy scent clinging to the morning mist, a mixture of old mills and decaying leaves. His sharp, earnest eyes were mirrors reflecting this quiet and eerie spectacle. His gaze fell upon his assignment, the imposing Ashwood Asylum, its spectral silhouette a bleak monument amidst the urban decay. A sense of unease washed over him, a distant echo of his own struggle against his inner demons, hinting at the darkness the case would entail. Inside the claustrophobic confines of his temporary office, a bungalow that bore the patina of neglect, he began dissecting the web of the asylum's financial irregularities. His focus was unwavering, methodically deconstructing the layers of deceit concealed in the mundane numbers and figures. During the third evening, a knock echoed through the silence of the bungalow. It was a frail woman, Mrs. Alden, once an inmate of the asylum. Her deep-set eyes gleamed with a kind of desperate resolve. Her hands trembled, belying the fear beneath her veneer of calm. "I've seen the horrors, Detective," she murmured. "Unspeakable acts, in the heart of Ashwood." "Can you be more specific, Mrs. Alden?" He probed gently, his professional exterior doing little to mask his growing unease. Her gaze fell into a distant point, her voice now but a whisper. "They feast, Detective, on more than just food." The words echoed through the room, filling the spaces between them with an intangible dread. He felt a chill run down his spine, the echo of past trauma stirring within him, adding a depth of terror to her cryptic declaration. From that night forward, his investigation took a grimmer turn, feeding into his obsession to expose the shrouded past. As he pushed forward, his resolution hardened, sparking a burning determination to unearth the macabre secrets that lay within the forsaken halls of Ashwood Asylum. Detective Rigby stood before the ominous facade of Ashwood Asylum, its Gothic architecture seeping desolation like an open wound. The gargoyles perched upon its entrance seemed to leer at him, their stony gazes imbued with a silent mockery that gnawed at his resolve. Within the asylum's echoing halls, an air of sterile dread clung to the peeling paint and stained tiles. The asylum was a perverse gallery, its inmates portraits of psychological torment, etched by the hands of an unsympathetic cosmos. Their ramblings were cryptic elegies of their former selves, whispers of an underlying madness woven into the tapestry of Ashwood's daily life. In these deranged dialogues, he encountered an unnerving refrain, the hungering shadow. It rang through the asylum like a dirge, a shared delusion that seemed to contort the staff's features into masks of veiled fear. A dread settled in his stomach, the murmurs drawing a phantom pain from the depths of his past struggles, aligning in a terrible resonance with the very core of his fears. Late one evening, his investigations led him to an abandoned wing of the asylum, shut off from the world for years. The air within was stale, a testament to the forgotten history that lingered in its corners. Here he stumbled upon a hidden chamber, an unholy sanctuary painted with grotesque symbols and crude illustrations of monstrous feasts, the realization of Mrs. Alden's cryptic warnings. As the cold dread seized him, his hand brushed against an old, worn-out journal concealed in a decrepit bookshelf. Its brittle pages were filled with descriptions of horrific rituals and whispers of a cannibalistic cult called the Hungering Shadow. Rigby, now an unwilling voyager on a river of dread, set sail into the chilling narrative of the journal, each turn of its brittle pages plunging him deeper into the fathomless abyss of the asylum's horrifying secret. The journal's author, a long-deceased doctor, unveiled the existence of the Hungering Shadow, a cannibalistic cult lurking in the heart of Ashwood. The doctor's confession, etched in inky horror on yellowed paper, was an admission of complicity, a chronicle of madness seeping into the marrow of the asylum. Each ghastly ritual was detailed with a morbid fascination, the unholy reverence for the nameless entity ever present in his words. His journey through the journal mirrored a descent into his own psyche. The cult's obsession with consumption, bore a haunting resemblance to his personal struggle with an eating disorder, each revelation echoing within him, leaving an indelible mark on his spirit. It felt as if the past had clawed its way into the present, the echoes of his forgotten trauma merging with the asylum's shadows. Yet he persevered, his resolve to dismantle this cult intensifying with each unearthed secret. However, the closer he crept towards the heart of the asylum's mystery, the more the cult seemed aware of his probing gaze. An eerie anticipation suffused the asylum, the silent corridors seeming to whisper of his impending doom. One evening, he found himself cornered in the asylum's labyrinthine basement by Dr. Merrick, the asylum's director, and an unsuspected cultist. The encounter was a dance of veiled threats and unveiled revelations. "We share with our God, Detective," Merrick said, a predatory smile curling on his lips. "Memories and flesh." Rigby's pulse quickened, the implications of Merrick's words a terrifying testament to the cult's monstrosity. Rigby, now more than just a detective, had evolved into the reluctant hero on the threshold of an apocalyptic revelation. He had pieced together the chilling puzzle of Ashwood Asylum's cannibalistic cult and their unholy deity, the Hungering Shadow. They didn't just devour flesh, they feasted on memories, a symbiotic sharing that seemed to transcend the boundaries of mortal understanding. This horrifying concept of consumption was a mirror to his own past, his struggles with an eating disorder now seen under an otherworldly light. Alone in his bungalow, he felt the weight of his knowledge like a physical presence. His heart raced, echoing the storm's frenzy outside as he wrestled with his predicament. However, amidst this turmoil, his dedication to unveiling the truth never faltered. With a grim resolve, he set forth to expose the cult, his efforts culminating in a confrontation with Merrick and the authorities. Despite the cult's attempts to remain shrouded in darkness, Rigby's determination brought their monstrous deeds to light, igniting a citywide manhunt. Yet as he stood amidst the chaos of arrests and panicked cult members, he felt a hollow victory. The city was safe, but at what cost? He was forever changed, his soul scarred by the horrors he'd discovered. Merrick's final words echoed in his mind, a sinister prophecy that painted humanity itself as a monstrous entity. "The hungering shadow is within us all, Detective. We are all consumers of the past." The shadow of Ashwood Asylum still loomed over Rigby, forever a part of him. He walked away from the storm, his silhouette merging with the night, a symbol of humanity's perpetual struggle against the cosmic horrors lurking within the forgotten corners of our existence. He was both victorious and traumatized, a reminder that even in the face of unspeakable horror, the human spirit persisted, however scarred and changed it might get. The echoes of forgotten memories resonated long after the storm had quieted, inviting a chilling contemplation of humanity, the universe, and the terrifying entities that might dwell in its darkest recesses. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, like it and subscribe to our channel, where you can find more similar stories, and click on the bell icon to never miss one. There is plenty more cosmic horror to come from the Eldritch Tales Factory. Stay tuned, and until next time.